The world is never going to be the same again.
I'm worried about the world.
The mass chaos and crises that there was in the world, it's going to be just like that now.
This is not an accident.
How long is it going to last? Longer than, even for those of you that have some cash in the bank, way past your cash reserves.
Out of 100 people, 4 will get the message.
This thing isn't going to be over in a few weeks. This thing isn't going to be over in a few months.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As guys, I know plenty of you have already seen the news on Twitter. But for those of you that don't know, I have been dealing with this health crisis for the past couple days. It did knock the wind out of me, so I did have to rest. But now I'm back and feeling much better. To my Udemy students as well, I had told you I was going to post that lecture, but due to the fact that I wasn't feeling well, I needed to rest. It actually worked in your favor because now the entry point for that A- rated metaverse coin is much better. That lecture will be posted right after this video, so please tune into that one, as I know you'll all be very excited about it. That'll also be one of the main metaverses I'll be buying digital land in, so please don't miss out. Now guys, I have plenty to discuss today, as the market has been bleeding, and it's been painful for a lot of crypto investors. Trust me when I tell you, no one feels it more than people like me. People like the XRP community influencers, we feel it. Because no one gets treated worse than crypto influencers when things go down. Everyone wants to love you when prices are going to the moon. Everyone hates you when prices start tanking. But you see, this is the thing. Whenever people start turning on me, this is when I start getting extremely bullish. Contrarian investing. Buy when there's blood on the streets, even if the blood is your own. There is extreme fear currently in the crypto market. Ladies and gentlemen, I love volatility. I love it when I see the market bleeding. I love it when we see 10 to 15% price swings in given directions. The reason is because the market is finally moving. I hate it when we trade sideways because that brings uneasiness. That makes the market stagnant. That means we don't know what the hell is going to happen. This is what's going to happen now. We just traded sideways for a while. Right before we traded sideways, December 4th, we tanked 35%. Yesterday, we tanked another 15 to 20. Markets can only move in 3 directions. We've already gone down. We've already traded sideways. The next move we make is going to the damn moon. Ladies and gentlemen, psychological indicators mean the world to me. That is how I invest. Fundamentals in market psychology are so important. And everything to me signals that the uptrend we're going to experience will be profound. Here we have from Credible Crypto, the exact scenario I've been talking about for some time now. Note that the Eliev waivers that everyone loves to hate on are some of the few remaining macro bulls here. Here we see that Bitcoin potentially could bottom between now and 37.5K and gives a similar structure to what we saw in 2019, just on a larger time scale, with a run to 100K still on the table for 2022 in my opinion. This was from Smart Contractor. Now, you've seen yet another bullish scenario at play here. Ladies and gentlemen, I do think, for the most part, this Bitcoin bottom is in. I don't care if we go down a little further. I don't care if alts continue to bleed as well. There are plenty of people that have been texting me, messaging me, saying, "Bull, these alts that you have recommended, they're bleeding out right now. There are some new altcoins that I have even recommended that are down 60 to 70% from my initial entry point." Trust me when I tell you guys, I feel that pain, but I've grown numb to it because I understand that the fundamentals are powerful, but we are just waiting on Bitcoin to do that Bitcoin thing. The unfortunate nature of this beast of a market is that everything moves up and down with Bitcoin. But just like these cryptos tank aggressively when Bitcoin goes down 33%, it'll explode even more when it rises. Trust me when I tell you that. A lot of people believe the reason was because of Kazakhstan and the unrest going on in that region. We know how important that region is for Bitcoin mining, and we understand that that probably had a negative effect on this price. Regardless, the recovery should be powerful. I have not changed my stance on the market yet. I believe we are in a confirmed bull market and we have not experienced altcoin season yet. However, when we look at CoinMarketCap very quickly, we've seen Solana rise in value to the top 5, and we've also seen a rise by Terra Luna into the top 10, as well as Avalanche. These 3 coins signal to me that the next stage of this bull run is coming. The major altcoins will have their bull run. A lot of them have actually appreciated in price already, but I don't believe all of them have yet. We still have runway left. And then finally, the XRPs of the world and the smaller altcoins will have their time in the sun. That's how it typically goes. And that's the best part of the show. We actually even have a very interesting quote from Jordan Freed from Hedera. In 2017, we saw Bitcoin climb from under $1,000 to new all-time highs, while Ethereum went from $8 to almost $800 before the end of the year and eventually to $1,400. The Fed rate more than doubled during the same period. The moral of the story is stop worrying about interest rates. Don't worry about interest rates and keep stacking. Keep building. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a massive threat of the Fed raising interest rates. But in my personal opinion, due to potential lockdowns and these new variants at play here, they may not raise rates. They may continue inflation. And if that is in fact the case, then that's only bullish for crypto. Look at what they do, not what they say. As Bitcoin has been collapsing in price, we've seen a lot of whales have been buying. We've seen institutions trying to fudge you out of the market. Buy when there's blood on the streets. Be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. These are the basics I follow that have helped make me successful. Please don't take that for granted. Now guys, that we have a little overview of what's going on in the crypto market and you feel a little better about this recent dip, we have this from Finland Law. The SEC has a letter of supplemental authority in support of its motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense. What does that mean exactly? Jeremy Hogan commented, "A case came out last month that marginally helps the SEC in its motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense. This is completely different than the SEC versus Ripple case, and it was at a different stage of litigation. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Ripple case, it's the SEC trying to strike the affirmative defense of fair notice, and it has a high burden to meet. The general idea in modern courts is that the decision should be made after looking at the evidence, unless there's no plausible way of winning. Why did I present this to all of you? Guys, a massive date in this Ripple SEC case is coming up soon. The infamous case that has sucked the value out of XRP and has stopped us from joining this bull run. Here's what I'm gonna say. We will not miss this bull run. And when this settlement and/or case ends, all hell will break loose in our favor. Please listen to this brief clip of what's on the line with this lawsuit.
Remember this, they were meeting with their previous clients while at the SEC. Clients with very strong interests in outcomes that they ruled over in their government posts. Hinman even continued to earn $15 million from his previous law firm the whole 3 years he was at the SEC. You're either a horrible lawyer who can't see the conflict of interest, or you don't care because you're horribly corrupt. So you've got the skills or the moral compass, but you can't do this and have both. And when you're pulling in $5 million a year, odds are it's not the skills they're missing. And that is the bigger story of what is going on with the SEC and Ripple. It's not about cryptocurrency. It's not about about Ripple. It is about the SEC, specifically corruption and regulatory capture. This is something that's so much more important than just finance and business and cryptocurrency. This is something that really affects every American.
And that's the thing, guys. This affects every American. United States crypto investors have always had the short end of the stick. It's very hard to use crypto exchanges. It's almost impossible to buy XRP right now. Coinbase is the most regulated and most available US exchange. And I guarantee you it is the place where you could buy high quality cryptos after the Asian markets, European markets, African markets, and South African markets have already had an opportunity to buy them pennies on the dollar. The US retail investor is the world's exit liquidity. Once you can get something on Coinbase, a 10x opportunity is already gone. That doesn't mean you still can't make money. It just means plenty of money has already been made. This is the fact of the matter. The United States is being held back due to lack of regulation and lack of clarity. And this is something Brian Brooks addressed back when he sat in front of Congress just a little while ago.
This is sort of unique among the developed countries in our fragmented approach to regulation. So when I hear people talk about the idea that we need one regulator for crypto, I would say we should first have one regulator for banks, but we have 3 of them. Or if you're an investment bank, 5 of them. So that's inherent in the system that we've got. What I say to that is the last thing we need to do is add another regulator to a system that's already got dozens of regulators. What we need to do instead is have parity for crypto activity along with traditional finance. If I'm a crypto lending platform, I should probably be regulated by the FDIC. If I'm a crypto trading platform, I should probably be regulated by the CFTC and SEC. But somehow we treat crypto, because it's new, as different from everything else. And I'm going to argue that crypto is just a step function improvement in the system. We already have a regulatory system. The laws are super clear how it works. But there's something about crypto that scares people. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because it's new. But I remember in my banking law class when banks were first allowed to use computers to keep ledgers, people sued over that at the time. I remember when I was a second-year lawyer and we got email, and the ABA said lawyers couldn't use email because it would travel over this mysterious network of computers. These all seem ridiculous today, but it seems like we haven't really learned the underlying lesson, which is technology usually advances human flourishing. We have a regulatory system. Let's use it.
Well, guys, Brian Brooks definitely shed some perspective for all of you. He told us of what the past looked like with new technology. And he's asking the question, why do regulators seem so scared when it comes to this space? I think the answer to this question is because this is the first real shot the average Joe retail investor has had to become the new 1% and multimillionaires. Plenty of people made off like bandits from watching Bitcoin go to the moon. Now there are many more cryptos that are going to go to the moon. XRP, in my opinion, is going to be the biggest one that makes more millionaires than any other digital asset on the planet. That's why we had to get sued first. And that's why in this bull run, we're going to move last. Only the strongest of the strong will survive and make it through this one. We've literally been through hell and back. And that should let you know just how high this baby's gonna fly. Mark Phillips shows a couple of Ripple job listings currently open at the moment. And the reason that's important is because it shows the trajectory of Ripple. 15 liquidity engineers, CBDC automation engineer, sidechain automation engineer, 2 AML sanctions jobs, NFT program manager, DeFi marketing manager, 2 CBDC product managers, and 2 tokenization product managers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make this clear. Ripple does not stop and in fact has done more work behind the scenes since this lawsuit has begun. More partnerships, more developments, more tech innovation, and stronger fundamentals. This case is a distraction. And what's more important is what's going on in the background where no one's paying attention. Keep your eyes glued to 2022, ladies and gentlemen. I genuinely believe the worst of this crypto market is behind us. And the best is still yet to come. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
I get 24 hours a day just like Bill Gates. I get 24 hours a day just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You get 24 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen. What do you do with your 24 hours? You need to get more information in our coaching program. All we do is drop content nonstop. And people are like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. See, you don't even know what you don't know. How did you let me come from behind and clip you? Do you guys know the studies show the better we look, the more money we make? Which means your website should pass the eyeball test. Your truck should pass the eyeball test. Your people should pass the eyeball test. You should pass the eyeball test. Everybody in this room has a promised land somewhere, but you can't be stuck on the city you like. You got to hear God and go to your promised land. Your promised land might be Utah. Your promised land might be Minnesota. Your promised land might be Wyoming. Hear me clearly. You better use your money to get information and access, and you better be flexible because a real shark is flexible. Can we stop fronting and get real about this thing? And if I can do it, you can do it. I knew nothing about life. I knew nothing about business, but I had the right mindset, and I learned it through sports. And y'all got to hear my story so you understand. I didn't even start on my college basketball team. I came off the bench. At the University of Minnesota, I came off the bench. But in my mind, you can bring me off the bench, but I'm an NBA ball player when you get through talking. When you get through, I'm an NBA ball player. And that's why I would walk around and say, you can't check me. You can't check me. You can't check me. If I was you, I would walk around every day and say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I declare it right now. I'm worth millions. I'm worth millions. I will receive my salary right now, but I won't accept it as my value. So whatever you receive right now, receive it, but don't you accept it as your value. Because there's more out here for you if you change your mindset.